Mike Pettine Coaches Show, presented by Liberty Ford, continues.
Carlos Dansby, 2 interceptions last week, a big pick 6 for you. He talked about being a guy who wants to make plays. He has an opportunity now to join the 40-20 club. What has he brought to this defense the last 2 years?
Well, it starts with the leadership. I mean, he's been outstanding for us in the meeting room, in the weight room, in the locker room, out on the practice field, and just as a however you want to describe it, a mentor, a role model for some of those younger guys. And he was a guy that his career looked like it was winding down a couple years ago, and then he kind of re-energized himself and reinvented himself, and has done an outstanding job these last couple years, and then it carries over to the field.
He was a ball hawk in that game against Denver. Speaking of 2 other ball hawks, Joe Hayden, Tashawn Gibson, any updates on their likely availability for Sunday?
Not sure on either one. I think there's an outside chance that we get both, but I think every combination's on the table. We could get both, we could get one, or neither could go.
All right, Coach, time now for a little hashtag Ask Pet. We'll start with number 1. How many hours do you log breaking down film of that week's opponent each week?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I don't know if I've ever added it up. It's very unique for me this year, just being more involved with the offense. So I sit in there. We go through a lot of tape. Now, most of the tape that we watch isn't necessarily opponent game film in order. As you know, the film's broken out: offense, defense, special teams. But when we break it up even further, we'll attach the data from it from each individual play. So when we're game planning first and second down on offense, we can pull up all the opponent first and second downs sorted by personnel grouping and down and distance. So those are cut-ups. We're not necessarily watching full game film. At some point during the week, I do like to sit back and just watch a full game just to get a sense for kind of how the coordinator attacked it, whatever side of the ball it was, how the flow of the game went. But it's hard to put a number on it. I know it's hours a day. That's why I don't watch a lot of TV, because I'm stuck staring at a screen for a good part of the day. You look at your computer monitor, and then you get home, and the last thing you want to do is put that bright light in your face again.
All right, number 2, do you prefer the tablet or the printouts to analyze opponents on game day?
I prefer what's available. So I like I don't have a problem with either one. If somebody wants to show me something on a tablet, or they have it, they hand it to me, that's fine. But I really don't have a preference. I think the NFL's done a good job, though, this year. Big part of the problem a year ago was on day games, just the brightness. It was hard to get that at a 1 o'clock game with the sun directly overhead, shining down. Anybody that's tried to look at it at a tablet on the beach,
sure,
read, it almost had to be more of a Kindle type thing, and that's not the technology that we're using. They did a much better job in year 2 taking our feedback and investing it in, and now there's anti-glare, and the brightness is ramped up. So I think that the tablets have taken a big step, and I think more of the coaches are using them.
In season, do you watch any college football or any other NFL games that are not directly pertaining to your opponent coming up?
Other NFL games is tough. You like to try to catch them, whether it's some of the Monday night games, some of the Thursday night game, just to kind of get a sense for the rest of the league. But it's just hard with the schedule that we have. It's hard to really get immersed in college or other NFL games.
Coach, thanks so much, and good luck against the Rams on
Great.
Sunday.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with Gary Barnidge. Big play, Gare taking the world by storm when we sit down with him in the player interview right after this on the Mike Pettine Coaches Show, driven by Liberty Ford.